get crystal clear. Incredibly, incredibly clear. I am on the, uh, I guess if under, okay, so if 5 is an okay Star Trek fan, I'm maybe a 4. I've seen the movies. The only time I've ever watched any television episodes is when it was put in front of me. So I've only seen like maybe 5 or 10 episodes of the TV show. I don't hate it. I like it. To be honest with you, I think I appreciate it more than I like it. I'm gonna say that again. I appreciate what it was doing, where it was going, what it was saying, technical this, but. I appreciate. I'm glad it exists on planet Earth out there, but it's not. It doesn't really strike with me. It is okay. It is nothing that I would go out of my way to see. Like, um, I actually like J.J. Abrams' Star Trek and Star Trek 2. Star Trek 3 looked like crap. All of the Next Generation movies looked like crap. They looked like just big TV shows, long TV shows. Um, and the original Star Trek crew were hit and miss. I love Star Trek 2, Wrath of Khan. And the other ones are, some of them are kind of quirky fun. That first one was long and boring. Um, and some other ones are kind of just, I don't know. I appreciate the campiness of some of the original Star Trek. Like, again, I am horror. Me, fan, equal horror. So all of this other stuff, it's okay. It is. It barely reaches to, like, I kind of don't give a shit, mostly for it. But, I can enjoy a good comic book movie or a good Star Trek movie or a good Star Wars. Of course, right? I'm not dumb. Like, these things are fine. And when they're done, at a super mega 100 trillion out of 10 level, right? When they are perfect movies, I kind of sneak out of my horror space and I go, wow, everybody says this movie made every single piece of money everywhere. Let's see what people are going on and on about. And I go, wow, that was really good. That's me outside of horror. I can kind of appreciate it. Like a good drama that's going to be up for an Academy Award. I can kind of go, well, okay, I'll leave my space and go check it out. And usually it's a very good movie. Let's be honest. But when you have my brain, when you are me, the only reason you leave your fandom is for something spectacular. And, for example, comic book movies can go fuck themselves. I'm at the point where I never want to see another comic book movie ever. Listen to me again. Comic book everything can go fuck itself. I used to be able to handle once in a while, a comic book here, a comic book there, comic book movie. I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. Okay? But there's just so fucking much of it. I don't want to have anything to do with it. Um, like, you've really killed the normie, like the casual fan. The Marvel and DC, really, you have both killed the normie with the overdoses, overdose. And now it's just like a big fucking, I don't care. I just don't give a fuck. And to let you know, when I checked out of the MCU, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I was like, I don't like this movie. And then I gave myself some thinking time, and I said, I'm done with comic book movies. There's just fucking too many. They're all the same. Some bad guy flies in, and he's going to destroy the universe, and then the good guys, punch him in the face. I'm just tired of it. Now you can say that there's all sorts of amazing greatness that the MCU is not tapping into, and blah 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 blah. And I have to say something. I kind of agree. When I looked into it. Listen to me again. I looked into. I was not. I had zero information of anything comic book. Zero comic books in my life. Zero. Zero. My entire life. Zero. Um, and I don't quite know why. No, me nor any of my friends. None of my friends. And I grew up in the 70s. So zero people in my. I had a couple, actually. I had a couple of cousins who collected them. Um, but they never took them out to show me. They didn't show me. I didn't see them. A comic to me was the piece of the newspaper that my dad would remove when on Saturday and give to me. The kitty newspaper, the kitty part of the newspaper, the comic insert. And it wasn't comic books, they were comic strips. And some of them were okay, some of them weren't. And then maybe I'd do some of the puzzles, maybe I wouldn't. My sister actually usually liked to do the search a word. So she would oftentimes do that, and then, that was it. Um, so yeah, there was like my dad read the newspaper, my mom read Harlequin romance books, and I had some record books, audio book. You read along with the record player, with the record, and yes, I do mean record, a vinyl record. I am very old. That happened, but there was no, and so I don't know. Is that a comic? Because it's a cartoony book. It's all drawings and cartoony books. All of kids' books are kind of like comics. And later on in life, I read one comic book, and it was great. It was the best reading. It was the Dark Phoenix saga. It was a big, thick one. I don't know what you call them. It was a collection of multiple, I guess. I guess they do a series of books in the comic everything. And at the end of it, they, put the whole series together into one big book. And I read the Dark Phoenix saga, the Rise of the Phoenix, I think. And it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. First and only time I ever read it, and that was 15 years ago. And it was a great experience. I should have done more of it. What I'm saying is this: it was perfect. It was excellent. It was great. It was perfect, great, perfect, perfect, excellent in every way. But for some reason, I still put it down and moved on with my life. Why I didn't want to replicate that experience, why I didn't want to continue down that road, I don't know. It was there in front of my face. One of my roommates had this book, and it was just laying there. I picked it up and I read it. Well, I started reading it, and then I was like, I think I'm doing this wrong. You literally have to learn how to read a comic book, right? Uh, so because I was literally just reading all of the speech bubbles and just barely glancing at the images. Barely glance, barely, like, I mean, by the time I finished reading the speech bubble, I was on to the next one. Speech, text, words, 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 change the page. Words, words. And I was like, I don't think I'm doing this right. So I went back to the beginning. I don't know, only about 10 pages in, but I was like, this is a really stupid, boring experience. It was a terrible experience. And I was like, come on, all these comic book people can't be this dumb. So I went back to the beginning of the comic book, and I sat and sat and sat and sat and sat and stared and stared and stared and stared at the images. And then so this is something that I realized. It's just like the action figures, right? I'll get to that in a sec. The action figures, or sorry, I sat and stared at the images, the drawn images, draw images, pictures. I was staring at pictures, 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 pictures. I made the pictures the comic book. The speech bubbles were after I cemented inside of my brain. I took that first image, I put it inside my brain, and I made it to, I pretended it was moving. It was now moving inside of this world, inside the world, inside the world. I was imagining, I was taking this stuff, putting it inside my brain, and giving it life. And it took a long time. Slow, 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 slow. Go slow, go slow, go fucking slow. If you've never read a comic book before, I'm teaching you how to do it. You are actually looking, or at least this is how I did it, the one and only time in my life. Now, I'm exaggerating the slowness, but I'm trying to make a point. Um, so I just put the image inside of my head, and then I just rested, stopped, and I brought life to it. I turned it three-dimensional. I turned it real. I made it all real inside my head. It turned from a comic book and a picture on a page to a movie inside my head. I converted that image to a movie inside my head. And then I read the speech, bubbles, and little bits of words. And then I moved to the next one. And it would oftentimes be a scene change, or maybe it was just a different camera angle of the movie or whatever. And slowing down, slow, 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 slow. I cannot stress this enough. You gotta fucking go slow. Don't just fucking skim over it and read the speech bubbles and be done with it. I don't know who that is for, but it's certainly not for somebody who wants to enjoy a comic book. You go slow as fuck. And so I pretended like words were a problem, like I was a kid, and I just wanted to sit on the pictures, sit on the pictures, 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 pictures. That's it. That's what a comic book. All the things, everything, and the speech bubbles were just kind of accents. All the words were accents to the pictures. So and I slowly went through the fucking book, slow, 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 and it was amazing. So, in a way, I think what I got from the comic book people that made the comic book thing that I was looking at, um, I through their images, I think they transferred something to the page, and then that transferred to my head, and so really they connected with me in such a strange way, and it was a beautiful thing. The best thing ever. Best reading experience ever, 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 ever. Period. Done. Stop talking. It's the best thing ever. When you know how to read a comic book perfectly. And it's, I guess, a good comic book. Now, I don't have anything to compare this to, other than the movies, which I'm done with. But it was literally beautiful. The best reading experience of everything, everything, period. Done. And it was the Rise of the Phoenix, I'm pretty sure. It was the Dark Phoenix movie that just happened, which, by the way, I did not see. Again, I'm fucking done. The only thing I ever read was an X-Men comic. Jean Grey, Dark Phoenix. And I don't want to have anything fucking to do with any of it. I'm done. You guys have killed me. And then when you add in fucking Blue Chick come out in the movie trailer, say, oh, why don't you change the movie to X Women because we do all the work around here. And then that when you added that to the Men in Black, you know, Men in Black is sexist. That's such an outdated name. We're gonna start working on changing it. Oh my lord! And it's just you added all of this stuff. You know, sometimes the bullshit from movie A affects movie B. Have nothing to do with one another, but it's just like this collection of oh, so all the chicky poos are just gonna be fucking stupid, radical, dumbass feminists in all this section of everything. I'll just fucking skip it all. I think that's what happened outside of Disney last year, and I guess Captain Marvel. I don't know why Captain Marvel was so successful. I think maybe there's just a big, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Don't know, do not know, don't care really. Well, I guess to be honest with you, I did kind of care in the beginning. I think Captain Marvel brought a lot of people out of everything. It just exposed everybody. It brought everything out into the sunlight, and then people sort of drew battle lines. Um, and it was very clear, very, very, very clear who was on which side and why they were on which side and what everybody was doing. It's like on one side you got the SJW. It's just like, oh, it's so stunning and brave. Everything that is stunning and brave is a 10 out of 10. And then you have the people on the other side. It's like, oh my god, it's a mediocre movie at best with a shitty character that is stupid and they didn't play well with the comic books and ba 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 ba. So I give it a 4 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10 or something. Um, and it's kind of like Black Panther. Black Panther exposed so much. You know when you go on Rotten Tomatoes right now? When you go on Rotten Tomatoes right now, just click on the top movies of all time. Top movies of all time. Now I get it. The internet only happened like 20 years ago. So before that is kind of spotty. Hit and miss, hit and miss, hit and miss, hit and miss. Mostly miss, by the way. Because people are of a different brain and there was no internet, so you have to kind of do research and what did people think of that movie back in the day, and it just doesn't work and it doesn't work and it doesn't work. So and plus the changing tides of politics, I guess. The Trump derangement syndrome is a real thing. These lefties have gone full left Trump derangement syndrome. Complete and utter. Their brains have exploded. That chick screaming "No" is a real thing. To different degrees for different people, but it's fucking real. You know, 6 months before, or a year before Trump got elected, Trump was the best thing since sliced bread. He puts an R beside his name and then wins the election, and now he's Satan. But by the way, you see how the left is warming up to the old Republicans. So it's just a dumb game. They like John McCain when he was dying and dead, when he got dead. George Bush isn't so bad now. It's all, it's just kind of, and by the way, I hate George Bush. I don't know what you think of me, but I'm ideological. I'm not part of a team. The philosophy called right-wing politics is superior to left-wing in every way. But most of our politicians are assholes, and they don't give a fuck. Our right wing, like Bush and Bush, Jesus motherfucking Christ. I don't know if you're old enough to remember those pieces of shit, but my God, just like and worse than even your Democrat ones. But yet now they're okay. Now they're okay. Fuck you. Fuck that. Anyway, so I looked into Infinity War. I looked into it. I didn't read it. I searched it out on YouTube and I looked into it. I did a little bit of research. And I think on I think in the comic books it was the Infinity Gauntlet or Infinity War. I can't remember what the actual title is, but I think it's Infinity Gauntlet. But the movie was Infinity War. And I'm telling you, what they changed from comic book to movie is astounding. They changed the concept from uh, Thanos, who, by the way, is supposed to be the super perfect, near perfect anyway. Perfect. And this will come. This will be important in a second. Hold on to your hat. Perfect, super perfect villain, right? He's all the villains all in one. He's the perfect thing. Super powerful, super smart, super everything, super this, super that, super everything, right? But there are people above him, and one of them is death. Death was manifested itself into a woman, and he was trying to. He had a boner whenever she was around, and it was a female. I don't know if that's stunning or brave, stunning and brave or not. Women technically give life, but the death thing, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. Usually men, cause the death with their wars and things like that. And they're protecting and providing. And usually a woman does the opposite, but whatever. I don't really care one way or another. But anyways, Death was represented by a female in the comics. Mistress Death is her name. And literally, Death is a physical... See, that's where comic books come in. These concepts or ideas, they get enveloped by an actual character. And now you put a character's name on this thing. I'm going to tell you, Mistress Death and everything Mistress Death is kind of like Pet Sematary. Pet Sematary, the horror movie, is an exploration of death. It is the world's best, most perfect, best, most perfect, best exploration of death, D-E-A-T-H, death, that you've ever seen. The philosophical everything perfectness of Pet Sematary, the original, not the remake, is a look at death that you've never experienced. You don't even know it. You just think you're watching a horror movie. But once you actually peel away the layers of that movie, you just experience death. You just take a look. You just took a look at death, D-E-A-T-H, death, from 100 different angles. You studied death, D-E-A-T-H, 100 ways. And now you are a better person because you just studied death. Even if you don't know you did. That used to be what movies were about. Now they're just about fucking, hold on a sec, we'll get to that. So, I'll let you see this guy's name. He's doing some great work over here. This is why my mouth is moving so much right now. So, Mistress Death, Thanos was getting a boner for Mistress Death, who was actually a physical manifestation of death, D-E-A-T-H, death. And Mistress Death, so that's why he wanted to snap half of the universe out of existence. Snap half of the life in the universe out of existence. Why only half? I'm not quite sure. I don't remember if they, went down that road. But anyway, surely, it's like, okay, I like dinosaur. I like nature documentaries, and especially eating animals. I'm sick, I guess. And I saw one, obviously, it was a cartoon, 3D animated, male T-Rex. Like they were kind of showing what they've learned about the T-Rex, and but in real, cartoon. Um, and the male T-Rex, who, by the way, is approaching female T-Rex to fuck, right? She is calling, 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 and from miles and miles and miles, like a whale, a male will come around and want to fuck her, right? But they're all individual animals. They don't, no packs. There's no couples. There's no nothing. No, 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 no. T-Rexes stay away from each other. And this male actually had to go buy, or had to hunt. He hunted a thing. He got a dead animal in his face, right? He's got a dead animal, and he brings the dead animal to her, and she is going to buy this gift. This gift. Hey, think about it, folks. How much of male humanity is going on here? Or human. Just think of a human. Human interactions. How similar we are. This male gives a gift, a ring, right, to the female, and she says either yes or no. If she says no, he could be dead. She might eat him instead if it's not good enough. She is bigger than him in this world. She is bigger. Now, that doesn't happen very often in nature, but sometimes when you use your brain and you understand things like math and science and stuff, it makes sense. When you're alone and you're raising a child that everything wants to eat, you're going to grow bigger, right? The females are going to actually grow bigger than the males because you got to protect your young, or else they just always get eaten, right? So, makes sense. When it makes sense, and when it doesn't, it doesn't. And unfortunately, humans, men are superior to women. It's just the way it is, and it's because It's just because of science. 1+1=2. That's why we're bigger and stronger, and we play different sports. Anyway, so this male T-Rex actually presents the gift, and then if she says yes, then he gets to fuck her. And then she, I don't know, a year later, something like that, has a baby and then does that, and blah, 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 right? And this is one of those that the T-Rex actually has a mom for quite a while. Until the mom, I guess, goes into heat again, and then she wants to fuck another thing. And then the old baby gets kicked out of the nest, and then the new one comes in. So if the old baby isn't big enough or strong enough, then he's going to get eaten or whatever, Anyway. But think of this male presenting death to the female T-Rex in order to wound her, get her attention. When I think of Thanos snapping half of the existence out of the universe in order to stick his pee-pee into Mistress Death, that's what I'm thinking about. All of this stuff. I'm thinking about lovely nature as cruel and sometimes interesting, and death and killing something to bring her over. The difference between a dead animal present and a ring present, like in human marriages, and or chocolates or flowers or whatever it happens to be. The guy is presenting the gift because he wants to be accepted. He wants her to say yes so that he can fuck her. And that it's just the sort of everything. It all starts here. And when I looked into Infinity War, I didn't read it. Listen, I've read one comic book my entire life. We've already been through that. And it was, I guess, a series, one set. That's it. I'm done. But with the rise of the comic book everything, you guys just can't get enough fucking comic book movies. I decided to start looking into the background of some of this stuff. And there was some good, great YouTube channels that would go through. I think it was Comics Explained who went through the entire Infinity everything, the comic books. So I really got a very good, close understanding of what was going on there. I knew enough. I read one comic book, so I knew how to absorb those images, and I would listen to him talk about these things and kind of explain the saga, the whatever. And I was like, okay, so this could be an interesting, and this is one of the biggity things ever in comic book history, right? So this is going to be something really super mega cool. And then we get to the fucking movie. And you guys fucking piss me off. I'm telling you, all of you comic book retards, and you heard me. I fucking said it. I just said it. They transformed that story about life and marriage and presenting death and all of that complexity, that humanity, that all of the everything, right? Into fucking tree hugging communism. I call environmentalism your Greta Thunberg. They literally turned the Infinity Gauntlet story into a tree hugging death cult communist bullshit. And it doesn't even work. If you have a brain, if you have a brain, if is the big word here, then you would realize that snapping half of the life out of existence doesn't really do much. And then all of the everybody started saying, well, why not just double the resources? Why not just create, resource-saving devices? There's a many, all sorts of stuff, right? But no, this movie that made $2 billion has transformed from a philosophical, super mega important concept, death and courting and courtship and gifting, and sometimes gifting death, and consuming death in order to create life, like bad dinosaur or boy dinosaur killed small veggie eating dinosaur to give to mama meat eating dinosaur so that she could create another meat eating dinosaur. I mean, the cycle of life, the biggity big, most important everything ever. This equals life, by the way. I mean, there's nothing more important than sticking your pee-pee in a vajayjay and creating life, and then feeding and nurturing that life, moving forward. I mean, literally, that death that Thanos was presenting Mistress Death in the comics, that is the cycle of life right there. I mean, it's the most important, that's all there is, folks. If you are looking at the number one thing on in every list ever, that's it. Creating life and feeding life. The lion that brings back the gazelle to feed her young or his young, usually her young. Oh, you go, oh, that's so sad. Too bad about that gazelle. Well, that's the way it works. You're gonna have to stop getting butt hurt and realize that that's how that fucking works. That's what we do over here. But I guess I don't know. I guess it's not progressive enough. So they changed it to, and I say this. You will not change my mind. Don't even try. That these tree huggers these days, these environmental Greta Thunberg, flying their private jets all over the place to tell people to not use fossil fuels, like Joaquin Phoenix, and all of this bullshit. Chop your kid's dick off, don't have kids, don't get married, get all the divorces, Just anti-human, anti-life, anti-life everywhere. That's what they made. They turned this movie into environmental death cult communism. And I'm not going to go over with you. I say, yeah, be nice to the planet. Don't pollute if you don't have to. Don't litter. Put your garbage in the correct spots instead of in the fucking ocean. And blah, blah, blah. There are some reasonable things that we can chat about. Nobody wants a sidewalk full of garbage as you're walking to the McDonald's. Don't be an asshole. Common, normal, all the things. And don't leave all your lights on. If you're super mega rich, don't leave all your lights on at home all day and all night just because you want to come home to a well lit home. All that shit. Don't light up the tree in the backyard because it looks pretty with the light reflecting on it at night. Well, I would say do that. That's fucking beautiful doing that. Maybe if you're super mega rich and you're literally lighting up trees in your garden out back because it looks pretty, when you're sitting in the living room and you're looking outside and you see a lit up tree, maybe then you can get some solar panels here or there just to make up for the fact that you're being a kind of an indulgent cunt. You got the money, so balance yourself out a little bit. But when you present some science, and by the way, again, he is supposed to be super smart. Thanos is supposed to be this super, 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 super smart guy, and he's gonna snap half of the life out of existence. But $2 billion later, I'm the asshole, and all of you fuckwits that emptied out your wallet for the mouse, for the Disney mouse, are I guess the smart ones, because I'm the idiot. I'm the one with the brain over here. I'm the one that can play this thing out. I can see the change. I can see the propaganda change. I can see, the cycle of life, like a man going out to hunt some deer to bring home to his family so that they can eat and not starve. I can see the humanity in that, but I guess the dummies of today just like, no, everything we eat is soy now. Everything we eat is tofu soy. We don't hurt the animals anymore. Our dicks don't work, stopped working, and our dog died of starvation because we put him on a vegan diet too, but, whatever. I know we're doing the right thing as our teeth are rotting out and our hair is falling out and our skin rashes all over the place. But at least we're good for the environment. No, you're not. Shut up. We're pretending that we're good for the environment, and you're a meanie because you ate a cow. Oh my god. I mean, transitioning the Infinity Gauntlet storyline into this again zero. This is, by the way, these people exist on Earth. The Thanoses of that movie, they exist. Zero population growth. Look them up. The people who think that people are a plague. There's absolutely all of those people out there. This is a leftist, environmental, death cult, communist organizations. That's who these people are. That transferred the Infinity Saga, War, whatever it was, into this fucking dumbass idea, which, by the way, I'm just going to go through the science real quick with you. Okay, you got a bunch of rabbits, okay? And let's just say you give them 100 square yards, and it's lots of green, lots of grass, lots of stuff for them to eat. Lots and lots and lots of stuff. So they fuck like rabbits, right? And they make more rabbits, and they keep eating, and they're having a good time, and then they fuck like rabbits. And they make more rabbits, and then they keep eating, and it's like, uh-oh. The resources are starting to thin out. Uh-oh. The resources are starting, we're starting to go, guess what? You can say this is, oh, you can cry your little fucking tears of communism if you want, but they stopped making so many rabbits. Maybe some of them starved to death. Maybe all the rabbits, bring the predators, right? The snaky snakes, and maybe the hyenas or something. The things that like to eat the rabbits. So they start coming around. But let's just pretend it's only rabbits. It's a big walled off area. No predators. Nothing natural, for God's sakes. Um, these people say that there's pro nature. They're pro that they love the trees. They just go around and hug all the trees, right? No, they don't. They hug some of the trees, but the other trees can go fuck themselves. Like the humans. Like humans are natural. We evolved to become really smart and dominate the earth and dominate our environment. Do they respect them? No, they want them all gay and chop off their dicks, or turn them vegan so their dicks stop working. Jesus, one of the worst things ever. I remember Oprah went over to Africa. Boy, am I ever going off on tangents. Oprah did her black girls' school in Africa, right? South Africa, by the way, right? Of course, it's South Africa, the country that white people made, that other Africans moved into because it was too cold for them before because they didn't know how to build houses. But the white man did know how to build houses, so they got to move south. And that it was just really good there because white people built it, and then the more black people, more, and then yes, and then problems, and it's like who's going to do this and who's going to do that, and then apartheid, which honestly, without anyway, I'm not going to go there. Yes, bad things on all sides, and but I mean, it's an untenable situation, right? You can't win, and it'll be back to it. They'll finish killing all of the white people there soon, and they'll go back and they'll take the land, and and then they'll just be a third world country again, and it'll all be gone. But one of the things that Oprah Winfrey did when she went there to build her school, right? She was yipping to the camera, and she was like, all these girls were going to become wives and baby factories. Every single one of these girls was going to become a baby factory for some guy. And I, the angel of black people, have swooped in, created a school, and now, she's talking to the girls, I guess the first graduating class or something, and she says, how many of you want to become wives and mothers? And only 2 of the girls put up their hand. All of the other girls were like, no, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a lawyer, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, right? But 2 of them put up their hand, and Oprah Winfrey was upset at those 2. She was like, well, I fixed most of them, but there's still 2 that want to be wives and mothers. And this is the death headspace of the left, right? You love these black girls so much that you want to brainwash them out of making more black girls. Literally. Out of the vagina, a boy, and then a girl, and then a boy, and then a girl, and then a boy, and then a girl, and then a boy, and then a girl. Right? That's how life works. And you love these black girls so much, you want fewer of them on planet Earth. I don't think it's very clear to me how much you love black girls, Oprah. You land whale. I don't think it's not clear to me that you love the black girls in Africa. It's not clear. Because you actually want fewer of them to exist. So don't fucking come at me, okay? Don't you come at me with your I love the black girls in Africa. Because you consider it a win when they don't have children. Like you. No children. I'm just gonna be a super successful woman of color, and I'm just gonna make all the money. No kids, no legacy, whatever. I'll pretend that my dogs are my children, and maybe I'll be nice to other people's children every once in a while, and that'll be good enough to fulfill my empty voidness of not passing on children, because making TV shows about makeup and how to lose weight and the KKK, and all of these things is more important. Okay. So they literally, I think I got myself clear. I made myself clear here. The um, the left ruined Infinity War, but by the amount of money it made, you comic book people have a lot of work to do. You need to call this shit out. You need to recognize it. Most of you did not recognize that the Infinity everything, Infinity War, was literally converted from a story of life, the cycle of life, into environmental communist death cult. Maybe you didn't recognize that. Maybe you did and you shut up. Maybe you were like, well, it's just a different take on this. I don't know. But that makes me sick. That if that's what's going to go out there into the world. Now, I understand that maybe some of you were kicking and screaming and understood and we're like, what the hell is going on? And that's great. But $2 billion later tells me that there was a whole bunch of people that bought this propaganda hook, line, and sinker, leftist, enviro, death cult, communist bullshit called Infinity War. I love, and the fact that he was a sympathetic villain, isn't that something, right? Thanos was a sympathetic villain. Well, he had a point in the movie because they had to paint him as a maybe good guy. Sympathetic villain. Yes, the commies that made the movie will come out and explicitly say, of course Thanos was a bad guy. But it was kind of a nod, a wink and a nod, a tip of the hat to all of the leftist, progressive, we hate human being, you need less people so that the trees can get nicer. Those people. The leftism is always a death cult. They're the pro-abortion. They're the pro-not having kids. They're the pro everything that is anti-life. They're the pro-veganism, which stops humans from breeding, and all of this stuff. Every position there is. Now, you can say that war, but no, the war thing. No, I'm not buying that. I think everybody is lefty retarded on that, including the right wing, your basic conservatives. But I would say your libertarians and your most people on the right don't want war. The left say that they don't, but they don't give a fuck. They talk about brown people all over the place. Brown, oh my goodness, the black and brown bodies. Oh my goodness, the black. Are you going to speak up against the wars? No. Well, your American military is over there friggin', blowing up black and brown people all over the place. Are you going to, why don't you change your pussy hat march into an anti-war march? No, we're not going to do that. Why? Because, we don't want to offend Israel. Oh, well, but you won't shut up about black and brown people, and your American military over there is just blowing the faces off of black and brown. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. We're only going to talk about our pussy hat. See our pussy hat? Isn't it stunning and brave? Okay. So, now we've gotten to Star Trek. Alright? Now, I'm going to say this again. I'm not a Star Trek fan. It's okay. If it climbs to the level of perfection, then I might give it I'll try it out. I actually liked J.J. Abrams' Star Trek because I know nothing about it. What I will say is this, and it is very lefty, by the way. There's, if I were to watch all of these episodes, each of these episodes. Like, I just hate it when people talk about the socialism and communism. We work for the betterment of of individuals because they have deleted scarcity. Like, you could have a philosophical talk about that until the cows come home. Who is cleaning? Who's doing the cleaning? Does dirt just not exist on this Star Trek Enterprise? Because I've never seen anybody with a mop and a bucket. Who's doing those types of jobs? No, like, there's people that just volunteer. They just, when the camera's not rolling, it's no. There's going to be all sorts of levels of everything, and you got to leave the people the fuck alone. It's nice that you have technology where you can just feed everybody at a push of a button. Which, by the way, you can't create stuff from nothing. So I don't know where this stuff comes from. You can't make things appear out of thin air. You can change things, but energy and matter can neither be created nor destroyed. It only changes form. That's a scientific, 100% guaranteed fact. Where everything came from in the beginning, oh my goodness, that's a mystery. Some say God, and some say the Big Bang, but yeah, that you can't just materialize a cup of Earl Grey tea out of nothing. And by the way, what do they do with that empty, dirty cup? Did we ever see? Is anybody washing those dishes? Or do you put it in the incinerator and then or does it go back into the replicator? It gets broken back down into its other elements, and maybe all the pee and poo goes there too, and it just kind of gets rearranged into different molecules and elements and this and that and stuff, right? There's a lot of things, like who cleans Jean-Luc Picard's toilet. I'm just saying that if you worship Star Trek, there is some great stuff going on here, but there's also a lot of stuff that just doesn't make any fucking goddamn sense. But I will say this. They gave it their all. They used to. They used to care a lot. And it was really close. Yes, they took some liberties here or there, which I, as a political person first, could tear apart. I could tear Star Trek a new one, with its politics and its philosophy and all this kind of stuff. And I'm sure it's been done many times. I'm sure you're not gonna find it difficult to find a Star Trek fan that will talk your ear off about Star Trek. Okay, I'm sure they're all over the place. But they might get a little bit extra defensive, but anyway. So, we already know it's just freedom. Freedom is what is the answer to making things good is freedom. It's just as simple as that. Freedom. No force or coercion. You can have voluntary force or coercion, but that person has to be able to voluntarily quit at any time. So in other words, no, sorry, autistic libertarians, you can't sell yourself into slavery, because you have to be able to rescind that offer, because that's your freedom. You have to be able to back out. So no, you can't sell yourself into slavery. Now, there could be punishments for it. So, for example, you got a big money thing, right? But you still have the freedom to do that. Now, you could be sued for the money that they gave you up front. Okay, well, then you go through that. But you're still free to leave, right? Now, like I said, we already know the answer to all this, how to make humanity as good as it possibly can. It's called freedom. Libertarianism. That's why I'm a libertarian, folks. Because it's better for everyone. Now, so one of the things that now I've never seen an original series. Now it's funny. I was thinking the other day. Now that Picard has totally destroyed Picard. Um, I don't think that there's going to be any conversation about who's better, Jean-Luc Picard or what James T. Kirk. I think that's been solved by the television series called Star Trek Picard, because Star Trek Picard has absolutely decimated everything, everywhere. And it's kind of like Infinity War. Except for Infinity War still made $2 fucking billion. Because there's a bunch of dummies that aren't seeing through. Or, see, as much as their propaganda and their bullshit is pervasive, it's in all the late night talk shows, and it's in all the schools, and it's all the Hollywood, and it's just all of that, right? There has to be some of us out here that counter it. We have to be the people that there has to be a group of people that can educate, that can help people see the propaganda being pushed in their stuff. Now, it's always been there, but it's has been mild. And just like your crazy SJWs of today, the propaganda has been beefed up to sort of correspond with the crazy. Like, I mean, you literally have a communist running for president, and he's the front runner. You have all of these dumb kids that are talking about socialism and communism like they're good things. They're hoping that like, they have no idea what a gulag is, or a firing squad, or a bread line, or any of this shit. And Bernie is out there just burning it up. Burning up all the little bits of freedom that you have left. And to thunderous applause. And all those Antifa professors, overpaid, by the way, because of the socialism. All these overpaid, commie Marxist fucking retards are drilling into all of the brains of everyone of how dumb this shit is. And nobody's, it's good that, okay, Gamergate kind of touched on it some, right, with the video games. Comicsgate is kind of touching on it in the comics industry. This is good. The Fandom Menace is touching on it in geek culture. And here I am. I'm going to touch on it in horror. And I am going to say right now, Jason Blum and horror movies, Jason Blum has the amount of propaganda in his, it's the worst there is. Now, I guess maybe there's some stuff I don't know about. I heard that Wolverine is gay now, and Spider-Man is bi. There's no end to that. Isn't Spider-Man supposed to be a young teenager, a young child? But they're already playing with his, where he puts his pee-pee. Because of course they are. So anyway, this channel right here, what did I call my stream? Did Star Trek Discovery betray the vision of Gene Roddenberry? What did I call it? The Betrayal of Star Trek. Okay, so if you're not subscribed to this guy, go subscribe to him, because he has taught me this is what is necessary, folks. This guy has literally taught me. He is showing a scene by scene, he just breaks down the clips. He's showing the before and after. Before the propaganda, before the SJW, before the communists fully took hold, and after. Before and after. And it's, the Trump derangement syndrome turned it up a notch, but it was there before. It doesn't matter who had the R beside, who was president with the R beside their name. They were gonna just be Hitler again too, because that's what the left is. Just name calling is stupid. Not to say that I'm any lover of Trump. I think he's done some great things. And I think everything that he's done that is bad, he said he was going to be bad at the beginning. During the campaign trail, he said, I don't care about economics, I'm just going to keep spending. What happens if you run out of money? Well, I'm just going to print more. You know, that sort of shit. You know, but he said kick the hell out of ISIS, and he's talking about trying to leave, but not letting him. I don't know about this talking a good game, but, you know, see, this is what, you know, the Republicans are all about. They, you know, talk a good game, but they deliver on nothing. It's just the same thing. But, you know, on the other hand, he's, you know, sort of done some good things with fake news. He's totally turned the crazies, you know, he's turned us a floodlight, a flashlight, a spotlight on all of the crazy of the left. And he somehow he knows how to turn them even crazier. Like the Pocahontas thing or the Squad. You know, you thought the little Marco Rubio and low energy Bush, low energy Jeb, and all of this kind of stuff was good during the campaign trail. Well, he just continued on. And, you know, fake news and all that great stuff. Nobody, you know, everybody is questioning everything. And it's turned those people inside and out. So they're showing their true colors. And they're turning people away. Some of your most lefty people are like, I can't do this anymore. You guys have just gone full fucking insane communist retard, and I can't do it. And how does the left put a lid on that? Because as soon as you start putting a lid on it, people are going to start to scream. You remember how Donald Sutherland at the end of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, he opened his mouth and pointed with the blank look on his face, and just opened his mouth, and that pig squeal came out. Oh my God! What a beautiful ending of a movie. That's one of the horror movie endings. It just got chills down my spine thinking about it. I love horror. Horror is my jam. And that, when he did that point, Donald Sutherland, it's too bad he's a fucking... Actually, I don't know where his political head is. But anyway. You know, when he was doing that, oh my goodness. You know, that's like the fucking left these days. They just don't have anything of use to say, so they just point and open their mouth and fucking noises come out. Except for scary. Well, sometimes scary. Anyway, we're finally here. I have veered and deked and dodged and just stopped talking about the real thing for a long time now. So, did Star Trek... Now, this is what needs to get done, folks. Demonstrate how they have changed. Demonstrate how they have propagandized your kids and your people, and stop fucking unloading your wallet in their fucking laps. Stop doing it until this ends. And who's I mean, see, the problem is it's everywhere. All of Hollywood is like this now. All of it. Now, I want to touch on a specific thing, but anyways, let's just go into this. And I'm gonna do the bad audio and everything on purpose because I don't want to get copy strike.
I really came into the business initially as a specialist on technical subjects, and that was aircraft. And of course, Gene Roddenberry and I immediately found common ground.
By the way, is that Gene Roddenberry? You know, to a Star Trek fan, that would be, you know, I should be killed. Is that Gene Roddenberry? He seems like, you know, seems like a pretty decent... I mean, it's true that people earn their face. If you're a smiley, happy-go-lucky, happy person your entire life, you'll probably end up with a pretty positive-looking face. It's your muscles change, because when you're smiling, hey, it is a fact. I am speaking truth. You end up with the face that you deserve. And if you're always serious and angry and you're scowling all the time, you're going to be ugly in your old age because your muscles throughout your life has been an ugly scowl, and you have literally transformed your muscles in your face. And see, this is the trick of the actor. You know, like, um, you're sort of faking it. I don't know, like, and if you can do it yourself, do it. Fake the smiles, and I'm not joking. I'm telling the exact 100% everything. Fake it. Fake it until you make it. Paint those smiles on your face. If you're by yourself and you're miserable or upset or something, fake it. It works. Fake it. Listen to me one more time. Fake it. Just paint a smile on your face and just do it. It works. And it changes your face. It's all just muscles. You know, your facial expression is just a muscle. A series of muscles. There's thousands of muscles up there, but um, yeah, just do it. Just do it. And if you're an ugly, angry person, sorry, if you're an angry, if your emotions are always negative, negative, negative in this way and that way and that way and this way for your entire life, then you're gonna end up an ugly person. You're gonna literally transform your face into baddie bad bad. And yeah, people end up with the faces that they deserve. And you can change that. Like these angry SJWs, they're gonna be like the bitter old scowl. You know, they're they're not gonna be able to smile because their mouth isn't gonna even move that way. Just like all of your other muscles in your body, your smiley muscles need exercise too. They're just muscles. You can paint a smile on your face and make a world of difference in your life. I'm not kidding. Listen to me. Do it. If you want to get happier, force yourself to have a face of happy. Just look in the mirror and go happy. And then do that. Do it like if you've got people around all the time, do it just as you're falling asleep. When you put your head on the pillow, get that smile. And if you need thoughts, then create those thoughts inside of your head to force the smile, but make sure that you do the physical manifestation with your facial expressions that you are full of joy and happiness and good and good and good and good and good. Okay? So, let's continue. I didn't know that that's what Gene Roddenberry looked like. And this is somewhere in between, right? Um, this is a serious man, but it's not all doom and gloom. I don't know. I'd say it's somewhere in between. But he looks like he was kind of an attractive, you know, older man or something. I don't know. Not sexy or anything, but I don't know.
Common
Common
ground.
ground.
All he
All
told me
he
about
told
the
me
show
about the show
was that it was
was that it was
out in the
out in
future,
the future,
and I
and
don't want to
I
see
don't
any
want to see
fire,
any
flame, or
fire, flame, or
films.
films.
Was that fire, flame, or failures? Okay. So I guess this is a technical thing. Maybe, or maybe it's not. Maybe there is no. Yeah, because fire needs um, oxygen, but I mean there could be oxygen inside of those tanks pushing out. I don't know. I really don't know. This is going to be beyond my brain. But failures, no failures. Fires, flames, and failures. Why? Because they're just so advanced that they don't have to worry about the. They're just so good at building ships now that they just always work. Unless, a baddie bad thing comes in and fucks with it. or like it's really important to the plot in some way, because I don't know. I don't understand what Gene Roddenberry meant by failures.
I don't want to
I
see
don't
any
want to see
fire,
any
flame, or
fire, flame, or
films.
films.
So then I
So
went
then I
down
went
and
down
spent a
and
bunch of
spent a bunch
Lucy's
of
money
Lucy's
on
money
Flash
on
Gordon and
Flash
Buck
Gordon and
Rogers.
Buck Rogers.
And all of that I
And all
put
of
on
that I
one
put
wall
on
and
one
said that
wall
I
and
will
said that
not
I will
do.
not do.
That I
That I
will
will
not
not
do.
do.
And something
And
else he
something
wanted
else he
was
wanted
not so
was
many
not so
people
many
sitting,
people sitting,
as he put it,
as he put
hunched
it,
over their
hunched over their
instruments waiting
instruments,
for
waiting
something
for
to
something
happen.
to happen.
He wanted it to
He
be a
wanted it
much
to be a
more
much more
relaxed
relaxed
working
working
environment, a
environment.
lot of
A lot of
softer
softer
colors,
colors,
earth tones.
earth
It was
tones.
my
It
own
was my
mission
own
to
mission to
soften the
soften
bridge,
the bridge,
look up,
look
give
up,
it a more
give it a
comfortable
more
feel.
comfortable feel.
Okay, so um, just little pieces of philosophy, environment, surrounding yourself with positivity or negativity, just all of these things, it's all propaganda, folks. It is all the things. Everything is everything. You don't choose, you know, soft, nice, gentle colors over dark blue, black, red, green lights and stuff like that. You don't choose one aesthetic over another aesthetic, just pulling it out of your butt. Propaganda goes deep. Everything has a meaning. Now, it could be a little microscopic meaning, but everything has a meaning. And when you're doing something like a movie or a TV show, there's a reason for everything. Now, sometimes there's not, and sometimes there's mistakes, but usually when you set up a shot, when you set up the thing, there's a reason for it, and then you and your brain. And we know that lefty death cult, brain fuck, commie, socialist dumbasses, right? Um, they're basically pro-slavery. A left person just wants more slavery. A right person talks about freedom, and hopefully they put their foot down and say, I want it all." But usually the right-wing politicians are like, "Yeah, we sold you on freedom." Like they um, uh, they campaign as a libertarian but rule as a dictator, just like the fucking left. Well, no, the left rules as communists. They're dictator both ways, but the right lies to us. Your right wing politicians just lie to you about the freedom thing in order to get elected. They play to their audience, but once they get in office, it's just, yeah, pay all the taxes and give us all the money and make sure that we keep getting to do all the wars and have all the control and all the power over everything. And it's just everything. But yeah, so like the aesthetic of something like the bridge that you're going to be seeing, and I've seen that bridge numerous times. I'm sure every Star Trek person has seen it. And one of the things that I realized about that bridge is how different it was from the original. The original was what? Gray, red, and black? Very stark. And this one was more like a living room. It was very. I'm going to say that I didn't like it, really. It was too softy. It was kind of, like that. And the color, it was like flesh colored. It was just weird. It didn't give me the impression, it didn't give me, but that's me. Obviously, that's what they wanted. Something softy, earth tones, softy, rather than hardy. I don't know how to explain this 100%, but it's all a choice, and everybody should. Well, if you have a brain and you're doing these things, then you got to pick and you got to know the differences, and you got to understand your audience and the direction of the show, and where you're going, what you're trying to do. But generally speaking, our the future things is just extremely hard lines, black, gray, silver, flashy lights, very hard ass, very hard, very modern art, very hard edges, very square, very, linear, very right? Very futuristic. That equals, people's just stupid thinking of future. Whereas this bridge really stood out to me, more so than any other future thing I've ever seen. It was like, wow. It's just, wow. Wow. What's going on? It weirded me out. And I will say that I kind of didn't like it, but they were going for a thing. And let me just tell you about my Star Trek. Again, I've seen the movies. I've probably seen a couple of the really good ones a few times, like 2 or 3 times, but that's it. Most of them I've seen once. I think I've seen Wrath of Khan, the Search for Spock, and the Whale one twice. Each of those I've seen twice, and the rest I've seen once. And some of them I didn't like at all. I've seen about 10 episodes of the show. Probably 8 of this, 8 of the Next Generation, 1 original, and 1, in total of Voyager and Deep Space Nine. But that's it. I'm done. I've been done. I'm out. I've never seen Enterprise. Yeah, I'm done. I was done a long time ago. But the few episodes of the Star Trek The Next Generation that I did see, one of the things that I noticed about the show, and again, I am normier than normie. Don't at me with your fucking Star Trek trivia. Do not do that. Do not come here with that. I don't want nothing about it. Nothing. So this the show would go, and by the way, there was 2 types of shows. One was just like a little inny episode, like character development episodes. Or we're just gonna get to know Geordi more. Those inny nothing happens, and I hated them. But it was like every other episode, they kept switching back and forth. So the ones where something actually biggity big was happening, those I liked, or I liked them more. But even the slow episodes where nothing big is happening, it's just like, let's hang out on the holodeck, and kind of sit around and smell each other's farts and get to know each other, but the thing is at the end of every episode that I did see, at the end of it, when the camera would zoom out, and then you saw the ship, and then you just heard the engines, you zoomed out, and then the created by Gene Roddenberry or something like that would come onto the screen, and you just zoomed out, and then either the ship actually just stayed there, or it moved, or it zoomed off, whatever. I always was left with a sense of wonder and beauty and peace. Peace is, I think, the best word. Because every episode got resolved. There was a clear beginning, middle, and the end. It was like, okay, we're just hanging out, and then, oh my God, this happened, and then we fixed it. And even though, like I said, now as an expert in politics and philosophy, I would probably go back and be able to pick apart some of the politics and the philosophy. Overall, it was very good. let's be straight up. Overall, I would agree with most of it, and it was pretty darn good, and there was a lot of love and care and attention and crossing the T's and dotting the I's. There was a lot of genuine love and attention and care put into it. And although it was trying to paint itself as a utopia, and oftentimes it kind of did it, and it was kind of cool, and it went down the correct roads. I could pick apart some of it, but overall, I don't see this as commie. Maybe it was early commie propaganda. Maybe it was just a slow switch over to the friggin' socialism and communism. Maybe slowly start to bring it in. I don't know if there's a history of Gene Roddenberry in his brain, and was he really? But it just had to happen slow, because this was during the Cold War and all the rest of it. The Borg are kind of like the ultimate in communists, right? Anyway, so, but like I said, at the end of the episode, as the camera would zoom out, it was usually in on the people, and then it would zoom out, and then it's outside the window, and it just keeps zooming out, till you see the whole ship. There was just a sense of beauty and peace. Whether or not that was intentional or not intentional, I don't know. And I don't know about the original TV series. It just didn't appeal to me. But and I guess neither did The Next Generation. But I had a friend who watched it a lot, who really liked it. But like I said, there was just an overall feeling of beauty and peace at the end of an episode of Star Trek, The Next Generation. And from what I'm seeing, in this new thing, oh my lord, it's just there's no beauty and no peace. It's all just conflict, and everybody hates everybody. War and torture and kill and it's all turned upside down. And I don't know how you fucking come back from that. How the hell do you, what is this? It's not even Star Trek. And I'm a dumbass. I'm a fucking retard. I am a complete dumbass. I only know maybe 0.1% of what a Star Trek fan would know. Not only am I not a Star Trek fan, I'm way less than a Star Trek fan. And this is fucking mind-melting, mind-numbingly insane. I don't fucking... Yes, it's just like... There's oh, we're just going to be angry, we got a political agenda, and then we're just going to paint Star Trek over top of it. It's just like we got angry and hatred, and everybody hates everybody, and everything is a dystopian, dumpster fire, and it's just garbage all over the place. And then we're just going to paint Star Trek on top of it. Now, I'm not much of I guess I am. A little bit of a conspiracy nut. Little bit. Don't at me with your fucking flat earths and fucking dumb stuff. But yeah, 9/11 was an inside job. Yeah. There's our governments lie to us all the time. All lies. It's all over the place. But I know it, you know it, we all know it. Or you should know it anyway. But the rate and to the extreme that Hollywood is destroying all of their stuff. Is it a concerted effort? Have they all of the Hollywood got together and said, we hate everything and everyone now, so let's just burn it all to the ground and get them to pay for it as we do it? I am telling you, Avengers Infinity War was tree hugging, enviro, zero population growth, commie propaganda. Now, you could say it was good. You can see, I think what we need to do is we need to start to separate the two things. Was it a good movie? So, in other words, would Oscar think it was a good movie? And then maybe another column is does it suit your needs and wants and wills and desires and all that kind of stuff? So, in other words, did they portray Superman like you wanted? Like did you enjoy that portrayal of that Superman and what he was saying and doing? Your own personal wants and needs, and it varies from person to person. Because, like I said, I'm a dumbass when it comes to Star Trek. I'm a zero. Me equals dumbass. But other people know all the ins and outs. Right? They could probably, there's some guy out there that could. There's people that fucking know Klingon, for God's sakes. Jesus Christ. But when you see, like I am a political guy. I'm politics first, horror second. And, like, the reason why I'm hanging out with the Fandom Menace and the Comics Brigade is not because I like Star Trek and Star Wars. I like Star Wars a little bit. Used to like Star Wars. It's not because I like the same things. No, 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 no. I think all those action figures that you got in the background are a fucking waste of time and dumb. I really do. We're going to disagree on a lot of stuff. I'm here because of the politics. I'm here wondering how you guys are dealing with the commie takeover of everything, the commie destruction of everything. And this is propaganda. Don't get me wrong. Like, how that Infinity War movie, or turning this on its head and making it a dystopian, murderous rampage of everyone, and taking Gene Roddenberry and flushing him down the toilet. What is, is there a concern? Did they all meet up in a room and say, okay, now it's time to destroy, exterminate all of our properties, exterminate everything, turn everything into commie propaganda, exterminate. And by the way, Doctor Who, there's another one. I saw 10 minutes of one episode at my immigrant friend's house. Okay? This is when I was a child. I was like 10. And my one of the kids from my school lived down the street from me. We became friends. And their last name was Ireland. And guess where they were from? Ireland. And yeah, they're immigrants. And he would watch it. And I remember sitting down and watching about 10 minutes of an episode of Doctor Who. This is when the Doctor had that big long scarf and the super mega curly hair. And I watched about 10 minutes with him and I was done. I was out. I don't know if my friend was also watching. I think he probably was. But I probably turned to him and said, I was like, let's go. Let's go do something else or something. So we went to go play, do something. But yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I didn't enjoy Doctor Who either. But, so, I just want to make it clear, I'm here because of the politics. You might want to talk about, Spock's ears. Oh, they didn't get the ears right in the newest movie. Yeah, I don't care. I'm not here because of that. And like, your video game news from right-wingers. I've given up on the quartering. I think he's just a fake and a fraud. But, so I get it elsewhere. And, I don't mind getting it from a lefty. If there's a lefty out there that is covering video game news, just don't talk about your politics. You know, like if you want to inject your politics, spread your politics all over the frickin' video game, then screw you. I don't want to have anything to do with you either. And by the way, you people can do it. You're more than welcome. You own the word Star Trek. If you want to ruin it, you go right ahead. But I'm going to sit here and point it all fucking out. Hey, Disney wants to turn Marvel into frickin' environmental, tree hugging, zero population growth, commie propaganda. Well, go ahead. And I'm going to sit here and point it out. Anyway, so again, I just want to remind you that I'm here for the politics. I'm not here to be introduced to Star Trek or any of this stuff. I don't care. I don't really like it. And you probably don't care about my horror. But it's not even about that. I'm not extreme into horror either. Again, politics first. But politics as it's being, as it's infiltrating entertainment. As it's being, the propaganda. It's being used to push an agenda. And the Phantom Menace, although I think they got a lot of work to do, I think they're doing a pretty good job. It's something. Better than fucking nothing. It's actually amazing, really. I'm maybe being some nitpicky or something. At least they're doing it. Calling it out. But it's interesting that at the same time they're SJWing up all of the fucking TV, all of the shows, they're also shitting all over them. It's like they're bad at their job. They're just shit at their job. So some, part of me thinks that, again, I'm going to say, maybe this SJW stuff is literally, it's just like we don't know how to do anything anymore. The whole system of Hollywood, everything is broken. We're just incapable of doing anything. And it is. Hollywood is fucked. They fucked themselves. It's just, it's a system that no longer works. But, as they're, trying to just throw things at the wall. Oh, please save us. Please save us. Watch our stuff. Give us money. Please save us. Please save us. As they are doing this sort of thing, they're just saying, well, why don't we just try, getting all the, the commies to like our stuff? Maybe we could, then get, move Star Trek to fucking China and they'll like it. I don't know. Maybe it's like they've already lost everything because they're dumb. So they're just kind of just scrambling and trying to throw things at the wall to try to figure something out so that it works. I don't know.
We're looking also more towards marine architecture and submarine architecture. These are just large naval vessels. This is kind of the Space Navy. We were so intrigued to make the Shenzhou with this almost kind of authoritative view of the universe. It's not right. This is not a ship of war. This is a ship of peace.
Starfleet is not a military organization. This is exploration.
I love that philosophy.
It's shocking. You'll see in a second. You see this thing called, the first female, I guess. She just recently came out and she was shitting all over everything. It's just like she got old and really commie in her old age, and then she just fucking shits on everything. I forget exactly what she said, but something about, just your regular stupid lefty fucking actor, retard, dumbass. But here, I don't know, she's just shilling for the show. She's just like, well, when it comes time to my bank account, I am going to blow the smoke up Star Trek's ass as much as I possibly can because I really like money. But as soon as Star Trek stops giving me money and the royalties have dried up, then I'm going to just be my regular, stupid, dumbass, fucking feminist, retard self. That's what I think happened there. I think it probably happens to a lot of them.
Thought it
I thought it not.
No principles, no. It's like Jim Carrey with the Sonic. He put aside fighting literal Trump, Hitler Trump. Have you seen his Twitter account? Jim Carrey dedicated his entire life for years to shitting on Trump and all the things, everything, on all the Republicans. But a month before Sonic comes out, all of a sudden, he's going to put fighting the fash aside in order to make some money. Now, how long? How long before he resumes calling Trump Hitler and calling all of his supporters Nazis? How long before he resumes fighting the fash? Once the money is kind of all done? You're not going to... And literally, what is that, by the way? You're like fighting the Hitler, you're fighting the Hitler, you're fighting the Hitler. Oh, wait, I need to go make money, so I'm just going to, go back into the closet. I'm a closet Hitler fighter now because I need to make some money with the Sonic movie.
not only
Not only
noble,
noble,
but
but
absolutely enduring. Why do you think Star Trek has been so fantastically successful?
I think
the
reason that the franchise has been so successful for 30-something years. Well, the thing that
Well,
makes
the thing that makes it so unique as well
is
is because it's an optimistic view of the future.
Everything else
that
is
so pessimistic,
so dark,
and so nihilistic.
And this
shows
a positive
portrayal of what could be in the future.
And I think people need that
and want that
and want that
to grasp onto
Because they're smart.
It's exactly what I just got finished saying. There was, after an episode of The Next Generation, and I think she was from Voyager, that Borg girl. I think. I'm not sure. I can't remember. See, that's how little I know about Star Trek. But that is what I was talking about. They didn't get the philosophy perfect, but it was good. Wasn't perfect, but it was real good. And they were kind of getting some things right and some things wrong here and there. But overall, I would still leave an episode going, wow, life is okay. Life is good. You're left on a positive note. Like I said, they got real close to being utopia. Again, utopia equals freedom. The more free you are, the closer to utopia. That's as good as it's going to get. And actually, the more freedom built on top of everyone, then that utopia builds and builds and builds. And then it could actually end up kind of looking like it. But it would take a long time. Because the ingenuity and the creativity and the love and the freedom and the just all of that kind of stuff, it's just going to grow and build and spawn and shoot out. And it's just like, it takes a while. For example, you just uncap the sun, right? The sun was in a container and you just release it. Yes, it's all nice and bright and sunny at the moment, but you wait until those plants start to grow and those flowers and then the animals start to come in, and so it takes some time for the sun to really do its thing. That's freedom. That's why I'm a libertarian. You just kind of uncap the sun and then it just kind of shoots out and yes, it's great right now. The winter goes away and it's all nice and nice and you can go outside. I'm Canadian, so we enjoy our sun. When you go outside and it's nice and warm, instead of having to be all bundled up, it's nice. We appreciate our sun probably more than most. But anyway, you wait until, a month after the summer starts. Then all the flowers are in bloom and the trees and the birds are singing and all of the life and that's what I'm saying about freedom. Yes, when you turn on the switch, you uncap the sun. It's great right that second, but you wait until, all of that stuff really starts to manifest. And like I said, at the end of a Star Trek, The Next Generation, I would get that feeling of everything is going to be okay, life is good, um, we're positive, it's optimistic. Um, it was a really good feeling. It's just like I just spent some time with a family member that I loved dearly, and we just enjoyed the hell out of each other's company.
Art.
And we are
Noble,
noble
and pure of spirit as a species.
Humans are capable of so much more than we yet understand. We're really something. Star Trek fans believe that. And so do I. For us, no limits.
No what? I don't know what he said there. Okay. So again, what I really think you should do this. You should go subscribe to this guy, Major Grin, right? And just go through some of his videos, and he shows you the before and after. The before and after. And it seems to me like all the Star Trek fans out there are saying the same thing. But here's, like I said, why are they all doing it all at the same time? Are they all, like, we get it. Your Hollywood is a lefty organization. It's like if you're not lefty, then you get kicked out. You know how the lefties are looking for people to say things on Twitter so they can kick them out? Kick them off Twitter? Get them banned? And they get off on it. They get erections and they have orgasms. When they, can call somebody a racist or something like that and get them kicked off. They feel like it's communism, by the way. That's absolute communism. These people that grab people out of their homes, line them up against the wall, and shooty, bang, bang, their faces off, they think that they're the good guys. They always have. And that type of mentality needs to be nurtured. It needs to be created. And these SJW retards that are just looking for the next person to virtually kill, dox, and ruin their lives, and expose, and this, and that, and that, and this. It's just like the sort of preliminary step between here and, you say something wrong at work, and then you're going to get fired. It's like everybody's overly sensitive all over the place. Nobody can talk about anything. That's the purpose. The purpose of all this is, it's just a warm up for the frickin' firing squads, and the gulags, and the getting each other to spy on each other. Getting people to police other people. Getting your citizens to police other citizens. One of the reasons why, the commies need it, need, N-E-E-D, need. Citizens to police other citizens is because you can't do it yourself. If you want to control the thoughts of every single person, every single brain, if you want to control the thoughts of everyone, you need help. So they get citizens to do it. That's why you can't fucking speak up. That's why you need to give me all your money. So I'll talk. I'll do the talking. You just sit back and relax. You have your job, make a little bit of money, and I'll point it out. I'll point out the freaking filth that is freaking commie propaganda, infiltration, gobbledygook, whatever. And we're all doing it. There's a lot of people doing it in a lot of different ways. But, I mean, oh my lord. That's what this is. It's getting people up to speed with the friggin' citizens policing other citizens. It's communism. It's communism light, I call it. Well, you don't like the fact that the captain of the new Star Trek series is a black female named Michael. You're a bigot. Oh, we're gonna make some phone calls, and we're gonna get you fired, and it's just gonna ruin it. It's virtually a virtual assassination. And as more and more of our lives go on to the internet, that's a very possible thing. Credit card companies, websites being, social media accounts, deplatform, all this stuff. It's communism light. In the older, like in, if actually, before, right? You would be yanked out of your house in the middle of the night, and then you would just disappear. Whether or not, if you were physically capable enough, you might go to a gulag to, do some slave labor until you're dead. Or maybe you just, go out into the woods and stand in front of or kneel in front of a hole, and you get a bullet in the back of the head, you fall in the hole, and then you get covered up. And these SJWs just, like, you remember that black girl? By the way, she just needs a hug. Leave her alone. This black girl that stood up in the multicultural center recently, and she was like, there's too many white people here. This is a multicultural center, and as a POC, I'm feeling a little triggered right now. I feel sorry for her. I really do. Like, this is the communist propaganda programming. This is the programming that is happening. She needs love. Direct love from a white person that is not a fucking mental retard. Yeah, she also needs a stern talking to. And it's good that we, shine light on these things. You remember the Covington Catholic kid? The MAGA hat with the old native guy, Indian? Banging his drum in the kid's face, and then all of a sudden everybody's calling for, literally, everybody's calling for that kid in the MAGA hat to be lynched. All of your Hollywood came on board. All of your news media came on board. Lynch him, kill him, kill him, kill him, lynch him, lynch him. Talking about getting his school bombed. Don't fucking tell me that I'm going overboard. It's great that people are starting to speak out against the things that turn people into fucking little commie, violent, disgusting, irrational, murderous commies. Of course we're going to speak out against the propaganda that turns people into that stuff. That's what we do. We are saving people. We are saving the next black woman from standing up and telling white people to get out because they're not multicultural enough. We're pointing at Hollywood and how crazy and gross and disgusting they are when they call black Trump supporters mental midgets or whatever. What was it that girl from Will and Grace said? I forget what she said, but it's constant. It's all over the place. These Hollywood types are just fucking, what was it that the Stranger Things guy got up on stage and accepted his award? And he was like, we gotta punch fascism right in the face. And it's like you're equating everybody on the right with fucking Richard Spencer because he calls himself alt-right. Once you truly understand the alt-right, you understand that they're actually on the left. They're actually right snug up close to the communists, Marxists. Right snug up close to them. They're a little bit to the right of them. A little bit. to the right of your standard socialist, Marxist socialist. A little bit to the right of them. Not much. Not much. Your basic bitch center lefty. Your basic everyday center leftist. Your basic bitch lefty. Your liberal. Your basic liberal in America, for example. Your basic liberal person equals further right than the alt-right. Once you truly understand politics, everything starts to slide into perspective. You start to understand. And then you start to understand, oh wow, the evil that required to keep this bullshit going is enormous. And it's slavery. It's when I am a libertarian, okay? I am a libertarian that is screaming that government is bad. Just like the dude or the girl or the chick 500 years ago that was screaming slavery is bad. I am that person. That person was saying slavery is bad. And everybody thought they were crazy. Nobody agreed with them. Everybody, kicked them to the curb. And yet that person would not stop talking. That's me. That person who lived their entire life saying slavery is wrong, slavery is wrong, slavery is wrong, slavery is wrong. We need to stop doing slavery. Well, I'm that guy. Once you truly understand government, what it is, what freedom is, all of the confusion with all the politics, and you go all the way down all the roads, you realize that there is only freedom and slavery, and we still are all still slaves. We are all still slaves. Paying taxes is not a choice. As soon as you disobey your overlords, they will kill you. If you disobey them enough, you are a slave. You must do what they tell you to do. And it's all just to maintain their tippity-top spots in the world. For them to maintain their slaves. Us. Taxpayers, producers, all of this kind of stuff. The people that make them rich. Well, you think it's a mistake that all of your politicians down there in America, every single one of them, retires a millionaire? Every single one of them just happens to be so incredibly perfect at saving their money and investing all of their little salary penny poos that every single one of them leaves office with a mansion over here and a mansion over there and a mansion over here. Your fucking Bernie Sanders is a millionaire. I mean, but you think that what is going on inside of your head? And the answer is if you're pro any of that, nothing. It's okay to be stupid, just it's time to stop being stupid. Okay? Now, point out the and it can get worse. It can absolutely get worse. I mean, the government has so much already. So much of your life is in their pocket. Do you really want more in their pocket? Well, these every single time a lefty opens their mouth, they're saying more of you needs to go inside of the government pocket. More of you needs to go more, bigger government. And at every turn, bigger government. They used to be anti-war, but then when you look at it, you go, oh no, they weren't really anti-war. They were anti-fighting communism because they wanted the communism to spread. That's what they were. They're fine with the wars against the right wing. But it's just like when you're fighting communism, all of a sudden they don't like war anymore. You think that's by mistake? The last time the left was anti-war is when they were anti, Korea and Vietnam. You think that's a mistake? No, that's a feature. That's a feature of all of this bullshit. And don't get me wrong, your right-wing politicians are assholes. They speak a good game, but they 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 campaign libertarian, but they rule authoritarian. As soon as they got the job and the paycheck, the only libertarian thing that they'll dangle the carrot in front of you, but they'll just like Trump. Oh, well, my hands are tied. They just won't let me stop these wars. They just, I need to keep spending more. Oh, yeah, oh, man. They talk a good game, but it's all bullshit. Like I said, Trump is better. You got a fucking Jewish 112-year-old commie running for fucking president, the front runner. Yes, it can get worse. Don't go that way. But I mean, it's pretty fucking bad already. And with Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard, I mean, let's be honest. I would say that of all of the most philosophical shows there was, this is probably it. I mean, it's a big fucking deal to take Star Trek and flush it down the toilet. And again, I'm not a fan. It's okay. I'm over here in the horror world. And I'm getting destroyed by Blumhouse. Jason Blum from Blumhouse. Who, by the way, literally came out. You want to see what I'm up against? Oh. Oh, that's one of my guys did a video about it. Over here. Oh my goodness. Oh, of course they're together.
Tell us what the concept of this movie is, and what is the take?
This guy right here is Jason Blum from Blumhouse. He is the owner. His name is on the company Blumhouse. His name is Jason Blum. Blumhouse equals him. A Jewish, Hollywood executive producer, Moneybags. He specializes in giving a very small amount of money to people to make horror movies. And, he will up his money out a little bit, but only to a certain degree. He's never gonna, his shtick is literally just giving a small amount of money to people to make horror movies. And now he owns that property, and if the people inside of that thing, if it gets successful, because if you're spending a tiny amount of money, it's pretty easy for each of these things to turn a profit because there's so little spent on it. But if it does get too biggity big, then they fly the coop. They go away. The people who made the money go away because they're large and in charge. They don't need to work for $100,000 to direct a film. They can go somewhere else for $5 million, right? That's whatever. But anyway, this guy is the cheapity cheap guy. He doesn't like to spend money, and it works. Hey, I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking the business idea of spending small amounts of money for horror movies, doing the small budget everything, and not letting budgets get big and out of control. He will just say no, 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 no to your big money thing. Okay? But and ever since and this formula has been very successful for him, and pretty much all of horror is him now. Half of every horror movie released in the movie theater is a Jason Blumhouse thing. Which, by the way, if it helps you any, he was working with the Weinstein. But anyway, so was everybody else. So this is a white, if you want to call them. Some white people don't like to be called Jews, or some Jews don't like to be called white, and vice versa. You'll have to ask him for that. And if you think that I'm being anti-Semitic, well, if calling somebody a Jew is anti-Semitic, then, well, I don't know what to say to you.
Take on it that makes it so much fun.
Happy is about a girl who has to solve her own murder after being trapped in a time loop.
But there's a lot of humor behind that. It's not just straight up scare.
Yeah, no. I mean, we wanted the movie to be scary, but we also felt that because of her situation and because she's trapped in the same day, and it therefore becomes predictable, that in the effort to solve her own murder, she also can start manipulating things, and that really lends itself to the humor, I think, angle of it all. Because
okay, so if you haven't seen. This is a very outside thing to put in a video called Star Trek, whatever. Happy Death Day, if you haven't seen it, is a successful movie from Jason Blumhouse. Now, Happy Death Day is really just a lefty version of a lefty horror version of Groundhog's Day. So they took Groundhog's Day, added some horror, and lefty politics. And teeny bopper, teenager, teeny bopper sensibilities. So it's a Groundhog's Day converted into a teeny bopper, lefty sensibilities, not too extreme, but it's certainly, the whole thing is covered in lefty, the good people on Earth equals leftists. If the bad people on Earth are not leftists. That's very much the sensibility going on here. And, obviously you switch over to a girl lead, and it's just very, it's kind of not one of the, it's fine. It's not a terrible example. I'm going to point it all out, and I point out these things because that's what I do. And Jason Blum, by the way, he just had his movie pulled because it was too chaotic. It was too commie. He literally produced a movie, which, by the way, it's being released. It's called The Hunt. The Hunt, H-U-N-T. The Hunt. Look it up. Do your research. Well, it was canceled last year, and it's coming up. It's actually getting a release date this year. Now, I don't know if they went back to the drawing board to sort of pull back on the communism, pull back. They probably did. They probably went back and said, well, how do we patch up this movie? Because of all the buzz and all the buzz and all the buzz and all the buzz and all the buzz that happened when the movie was pulled from theaters last year. Trump said a thing, and then Universal said, fuck this movie. So they took it away. It didn't go to the movies. But now, this year, it's getting a release. Now, my guess is they changed it up. They softened up their commie propaganda. But you want to see how bad this guy is? By the way, this video Jesus.
Of it all because she doesn't care anymore. She can do whatever she
Come
wants.
Yeah,
on.
that empowered montage is like my favorite part.
October 2017. Okay. So this is, I thought it was Happy Death Day to You, this sequel, but I am incorrect. This is happening in 2017. Halloween 2017. This is Trump's #1 year, first year in office. First year. Because although the election happens in 2016, he takes office at the beginning of 2017, right? So this movie was being made, M-A-D-E, prior to maybe Trump even taking office. I don't know how long this movie was in production, but it was released the same year. Now, Jason Blum is super mega cheap, right? A cheap Jew. Oh, don't make those jokes. Uh, my mouse is not working properly, so it doesn't know how to click anymore. So yeah, so this happened. Trump right away, and then probably still making the movie, maybe finishing up production, maybe I don't know exactly. A good movie, a biggity big movie, takes years to make, from start to finish. But maybe these cheapy Blumhouse productions are just like zoom, 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 we're done, right? That's a thing. But still, zoom, 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 we're done is usually many months. I would say the most miniature you could ever get is 6 months for a major motion picture for the movie screen. Maybe for your home video, it doesn't fucking matter. You can do it in 12 seconds, doesn't matter. But for the big movie thing, right? Usually, so if it's 6 months, then it started in April. No. You don't know how much this pisses me off, folks. You think that your side of the world is bad over there in Star Trek land? Listen to this guy. So they're just talking about the movie. It's a dumb throwaway, dumb movie. It's okay. It's just like if you're a lefty, if you're a liberal, then you're a good person. If you're not, then you're a bad person. It's just like, but it's very soft. It's kind of subtle. It's not smacking you over the head with it, and it's just kind of a dumb kitty kid, teeny bopper. Look at her pretty boobs, jiggle around, and choppy chop chop. We're gonna kill some people, and it's a rip off of Groundhog's Day. You just keep reliving the same day over again. You add a little bit of commie, female lead. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna go into that. Female leads in horror movies is kind of a thing, and it shouldn't be taken as SJW. No, 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 no. Take your SJW and you can flush that down the toilet when you're talking about horror movies and female leads. There is a very good, valid reason why girls need to star in horror movies, but that doesn't mean that it also, it's horror, it does also fit the SJW commie propaganda crap. Anyway, let's get back to this movie. I hope you understand what I'm talking about when I talk about Happy Death Day.
Art.
Yeah.
So talk about the things that she does once there's no consequences.
I mean, she's eating, whatever she wants. I mean, she's doing all the wish fulfillment things I think that we all have. Like she's, no concerns about calories in your body. And she's walking around naked. She's telling people off. She's making amends. She kind of gets to sort of run the gamut and really gets to do everything that we all, I think, fantasize about doing.
What would you do if you had a day with no consequences?
So, here we go. Here, get your earplugs inside. Turn the volume up to 104 trillion. This is what I'm talking about. I'm going to rewind, okay? This is a Groundhog Day, stupid teeny bopper, converted into a stupid teeny bopper, obviously lefty, okay? Listen up. Listen up. You think your side is bad off? Listen to this.
What would you do if you had a day with no consequences?
I would
I
do
would
what she
do
does.
what she does. I mean, I would start by eating. I think I would just eat and eat.
I would take out the current administration.
I would take out the current administration. Forget about the CC. Forget about that fucking bullshit. They fucking don't know how to spell. 99% of the time, it's all gobbledygook. I would take out the current administration. I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say it 1 trillion times until you get this inside your head. I would take out the current administration. What would you do if you had a day without consequences? I would take out the current administration. What he's saying is I would kill Trump. This is a professional interview from a Jewish Hollywood executive. This is the Trump derangement syndrome. And he owns, OWNS, owns at least half of the horror movie Everything. Currently in Hollywood today, he is Mr. All the Things, everything. Suck on the turds from his shitty asshole. He equals horror. This is, you wonder why I'm pissed off? Has any of your guys ever gone this far in a professional interview? What would you do if you had? What would you do if you had a day without consequences? And he interrupts his director, the director homo sitting beside him, right? That I'm a tough guy. I'm going to get some tattoos. I go to the gym. Look at me, right? I'm a tough guy. I'm. You know, all of us not real men have to pretend to be real men, and we do that with tattoos and going to the gym. Anyway. So, yeah. So he interrupts his, probably multi-sexual, pan everything, super woke, director buddy, butt buddy, and they just got finished doing an orgy out back with all the people of colors and just all the bullshit from the left, right? And this guy, he's so full of himself, he literally comes out and says, I would take out the current administration. Let's rewind again. Get this inside your head. Pull up the freaking video yourself and watch it 1 trillion times until you understand what we're up against here.
I would do what she does. I mean, I would start by eating. I think I would just eat and eat.
What would you do if you had a day with no consequences?
I would do what she does. I mean, I would start by eating. I think I would just eat and eat.
I would take out the current administration.
There you go. How do you top that? This is Jason Blum from Blumhouse Pictures. He is so fucking far to the fucking retard, it is unbelievable. Everything is going down in flames. These fucking Hollywood needs to go away. And I'm glad they're failing. He is not going to be able to do his low budget bullshit for much longer. Because there's going to be no more movie theaters left for him to show his shit inside. He has gone so fucking far off the fucking fuck. It is fucking fuck. I mean, what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on with these fucking idiots? 5 years before this interview, he'd have been clapping fucking Trump all over the fucking everything. It fucking infuriates me. Now I understand why you get upset about your shit, but this is politics, right? Imagine the scumbaggery, a rich executive Jew, cheap fucking horror, dollar store fucking dumbass, Oh, I'm going to be cheap and it's going to make lots of money. I'm going to, we're going to, I'm never going to spend. No, you're not getting too much money out of me. I'm a penny pincher. We're going to penny pinch the penny, penny pinch. But everybody's going to fucking, come to me and just, I'm going to be that guy that can put out a horror movie. Even if it bombs, I'll still get my money back because I spent so little on it. Even if it's a bomb and nobody wants to go see it, I'm still going to make my money back because those 14 people that are just going to go out and see every single horror movie ever, or those ones that kind of tripped on, or they had a brain fart when they were buying their ticket to go see a movie, or they just don't think, they don't use a brain, or maybe they're commies themselves. Even that microscopic small amount of audience, I'm still going to get my money back. And then, every once in a while, 1 out of every 5, 1 out of every 10 of my movies are going to, boom, make a lot of money. And that's what, that's what I do over here. But still, the sequel to that movie, maybe I'll give you 12 million instead of 6. Okay? Yeah, you made 200 for me, but then, and the sequel, well, a little bit. But hey, again, I'm not knocking, Tyler Perry does the same thing. Tyler Perry's, I would argue, is worse. And the content is worse. But he's fucking making all the money. People want to see it. You just keep pumping out shit. Keep pumping out the shit. Keep pumping it out, pumping it out, pumping it out. And then a president you don't like fucking... And then you have the balls to come out and say, I'm going to take out the... What would you do if you had a day without consequences? I would take out the current administration.
With no consequences.
I would
do.
What would you do if you had a day with no consequences?
I would
do what she does. I would start by eating. I think I would just eat and eat.
I would take out the current administration.
That's a great answer.
I went dark.
Great answer. See, it's all just this lefty bubble of fucking... We're just going to all suck each other's genitals. We're all going to lick the turd nuggets off of each other's buttholes. And it's just this one big lefty bubble of dumb. Oh, yeah. Oh, he just threatened to assassinate the president. He just, and all of the other lefties just sit there and clap like fucking, seals. And then you wonder where Black Christmas comes from and Get Out. By the way, all these movies I'm going to mention are him. The Hunt, Invisible Man, which is actually more like Invisible Woman, fucking Badman, fucking beats up his... It's all the fucking same. These fucking gross, disgusting slimeball human beings. It's going to be fun watching Hollywood flop. The movie theaters start to close. And then, see, he's parasiting off of the bigger movies. See, this is where it's kind of wrong and immoral, right? Now, there's a small and a medium budget movie, right? And then there's the big budget movie. The big budget movie gets all the bums, bumbity bums into the movie theater. That's where, like, your Disney, your Avengers, your all of that, all the biggity big movies, right? Get, like, 3/4 of the people in the seats. So that these little guys, little guys that are just penny pinching, pinch the penny, pinch the penny, pinch, right? Pinch the fucking pennies. These guys can sort of leech off of that. Parasites. Well, the Avengers movie was full, so, we're already here. What do you want to see? Well, why don't we go see this horror movie? Why don't we go see this? Why don't we go see that? This sort of leeches, and then just kind of, there's, this, all of these people with the big movies out there are bringing all these people. They've got this machine of bringing people into the movie theater, bringing people. And then these guys just are like, well, these other people have really put their neck out on, and they're really neck out. They're really risking, but they're, you know, bringing the people in and doing that big. All the people moving. $10 here, $10 there, some popcorn, and it's really created this industry, right? But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sit back and you know, kind of just be a kind of a shit turd side character, and I'm gonna make my own many millions of dollars, just giving people a very tiny amount of money to make a you know, the best that they can. If it turns out to be shit and an absolute shit turd, then well, I made my money back. If it's a kind of an okay success, then, you know, then I'll make some money. But every once in a while, it'll hit the fucking jackpot, and I'll make all the fucking money. And I didn't spend a goddamn thing. But thank God that these other people spent a lot and kept this machine called, you know, movie theaters and the movie theater experience going. And I'm just going to spend my life leeching off of that. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, it's not necessarily a bad thing, and I think it's just fine. But imagine being that leech person, and then coming out and saying something like this. What does this face, this interview, okay, this, you know, this homo that just, you know, got his butt plugged by the fucking, you know, producer and the fucking dumbass wannabe chick, casting couch me now, girl behind the camera, right? Because all these people behind that, they're all just insider access me. It's all the same, right? You think that everybody in the world thinks like this? When no, it's just a bunch of scumbag fucking Hollywood fucking retard types. No, the normal moms and dads and kids and, you know, families and stuff like that. Do these, you know? No, they don't think like this. They're not this fucking gross and imagine promoting a movie and saying something about Trump like that. You're literally telling Trump supporters to fuck off. We don't want you here. If you're a conservative, if you're a Republican, fuck off. I hate you. Like, it's just so gross, and but he doesn't care. He's made all the money. If he made 0 pennies the rest of his life, he'd be just fine. So he has the money to be able to say whatever the fuck he wants, right? And that's another problem with all of Hollywood. They got too much money. They no longer need the customer. They no longer need people to actually come in. It's one of the many reasons why Hollywood is failing. And shit like this, like he owns horror at the moment. And he has for quite a while. 5 years? He's been around for about 10, maybe a little longer. I don't know. But he has been the it guy for horror movies. He's just like, I want to make a horror movie. Are you a communist? Yep. Okay, here's $5 million. I want to make a horror movie. Are you a communist? Yep. Okay, here's $5 million. I want to make a horror movie. Are you a communist? Yep. Okay, here's $5 million. That's him. Some of his movies, you know, break even. A couple of them, you know, like, very few of them don't, because there's so little money put into it, getting the money out of it, you know, like, but I said, a leech, an actual Jewish executive producer leech, who is leeching off of everybody else that has created this industry, is going to come out and boldly say that I would take out the current administration.
Not doing.
What would you do if you had a day with no consequences?
I would
do
what she
do what she does.
I
I would
start by
eating.
I
I think I would just eat and eat.
I would take out the current administration.
That's a great answer.
That's a great answer. Take out Trump, kill Trump. You know, this homo is like talking, oh, I would eat dairy because, you know, dairy's bad for my biceps. I pretend to be a man, and bicep, you know, like dairy, or, you know, potato chips. I would eat potato chips because potato chips are bad for you, and I want a nice thin little waist here because I'm a big manly man, and I like to get plugged in the bum, and I want to eat potato chips. I want to eat potato. If I could do anything, I am so deep. I am so deep, and I'm so in tune with the world around me and what's good for humanity. If I could have an entire day without consequences, the first thing that comes to my mind is I would eat potato chips. I am such a good person. Oh, and when you talk about killing Donald Trump, oh my goodness, I'm just so laughy, because I'm such a good person. I'm such a good person. I'm a Democrat. And, I would kill Trump. I would kill Trump too, because that's just so funny and so awesome. While we're selling this movie, my bossy boss talks about killing Trump. Just think of the first, a day without consequences. Okay, maybe you do think selfish in the beginning. You want to fucking eat potato chips, but do you have to be that gay? Really? Because he's just all focused on the way he looks, right? Are my teeth white enough? Is my hair perfect? Is my six pack showing today? All of the just vanity, me. But then he's gonna okay, I'm such a good person. I'm a liberal. I'm such a good person. Yeah, of course, killing Donald Trump is a good thing to do. Make the whole world a better place, and let's all giggle about it. He. Right? Of course, killing Donald Trump is the right thing to do. All those people who voted for him are Nazis. And look at the smug look on his face. Oh, so I made a funny. I insulted, half of America. I'm an executive, but it doesn't matter because I already have my bank account has lots of zeros in it, and I'm just too important. I can say whatever it is I want to say, and I'm gonna make all of my movies, all of my horror movies, are now just leftist propaganda to the fullest extent of everything, and it's true. He has gone full. I'm telling you, Black Christmas went so far that everybody, even the lefties, had to say, "Whoa." Black Christmas 2019 was so bad that even the lefties had to come out and say, "Whoa, whoa." The lefties, this guy, the people like him. Although I'm such a good guy, all I really care about is how I look and vanity, and I'm gonna get a tattoo so that I look like a man, but I'm really not. Please poke me in the bum. Um, but yeah. Take out the current, and like I said, it's just and the smug look. Look at how good I am. Republicans don't like my movies. Good thing. They're all fucking Nazis. Well, the Holly, there's just so much to unpack here, right? But we just got to start pointing this shit out. Start pointing it out and realizing that these scumbags that literally admit that they're fucking psychopathic, lefty, fucking murderous, hateful bigots, and just sit there with a big smug look on their face too. I'm so proud of myself. I'm such a Democrat. I'm so proud of myself. I'm such a good person. I don't want to eat chips. If I could do, because chips, they put the weight on. My butt is, it needs to fit into those skinny jeans. I don't want my butt to get too big because not enough boys will want to plug it. I'm going to get a tattoo now. I don't want to eat. If I could do anything for a day without consequences, I would eat chips because I really like chips, but they're not good for my bum. Unbelievable. So this is, and this mentality, most of them don't come out and just say it, that I'm a murderous, bigoted, disgusting pig, like this guy does. And this guy is the head of horror at the moment. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but not much. and this is the mouth and the brain. So when you talk about the propaganda inside of your other stuff, understand that maybe you don't have the greatest of examples like I do. I do in horror. Look, there it is. And these people kind of, they say all of this stuff. Usually it's not on camera though. You know, like it'll happen. The mask is slipping. These guys are AOCs, you're fucking Antifa, you're just run-of-the-mill fucking just loser, degenerate, lefty fucking dumbasses. Live in a bubble. The only people around them are other lefties like them. They're all fucking vain to the fuck. All they care about is the way they look. They pretend to be nice people as they trip over the homeless on their way to cashing their multi-million-dollar checks, right? They don't give a fuck. Fucking backstabbing, loser, fucking commie, degenerate. And look at that smug Jewish look on his face. You wonder, I hate the Nazis. I hate the alt-right. But I mean, they're not wrong about everything. And when you got smug shits like this, and then you look at his body of work, don't fucking come at me with your bullshit. Don't fucking come at me with your bullshit. I swear to God. And this is where all of your other shit is coming from. This is why your Star Trek is in the toilet. Picard isn't even Picard. Everything is being turned upside down. Because these people are the people that we've given power to. Every time you love and you give money and you love and love and love and love and love and give them money, give them money, give them money, all to the Hollywood. The Hollywood, the Hollywood, the Hollywood, the Hollywood, the Hollywood, the Hollywood. All the money, 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 you just keep pouring into their pockets. Just keep fucking, oh yeah, I'm gonna, oh, here's some more money, here's some more money, here's some more money. You just empower this. And you're going to try to make excuses. Well, I'm going to separate the art from the artist. Or, well, yeah, that's adjacent, but I'm going to see a different one. Or, like, well, you just keep making excuses. You're excuses. And you just keep pouring money into this. Pouring money into this. Yes, you have to say goodbye to it. You have to not give them any more money. Stop going to the movies. Cancel your cable. Cancel the streaming services. You have to depower these people. And it's already happening. People are waking up all over the place, and it's fantastic. But it's already happening. Last year, Disney sort of patched the holes of Hollywood with all of its big budget movies. Nothing this year. Nothing this year. So I don't. It's going to be great watching these scumbag. I'm such a nice person. I don't want to eat chips. I'm a smug, murderous commie. Just kind of scumbag. It's just fucking more of the same, right? This is Hollywood. This or the fucking Oscars or whatever it is. Just all you got to do is watch them move their mouth, and then you get all of the information that you need. What would you do if you could, live a day without consequences? I would eat potato chips. I would eat potato chips. I would kill Donald Trump. Whatever. Anyway. I think I'm going to leave that here. I'm just too fired up. I need to grab something to eat. Maybe we'll see you later on in the day. And, yeah, we'll, but, this kind of, and the interviewer, the girl, because she wants to be part of the club too, right? So they all just kind of agree with each other. And because as soon as you disagreed, if she would have said something like, yeah, that's kind of, don't you care about your conservative, don't you care about your Trump supporters? If you were to challenge, it's just like your politician, right? They're never going to enter into a conversation with anybody that can make them look bad. And this Jason Blum needs everybody around him to just blow smoke up his ass all day. Blow smoke, blow smoke, blow smoke. Because if people around him were, like that interviewer would have said something like, and she knows it, by the way, she's part of this group. She's part of the problem too. She probably got a promotion out of saying that. Oh yeah, I hate Trump too. Yeah, I can't wait to see him, assassinated. Just so gross. I would eat potato chips. I would kill Donald Trump. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there and take a little break. Maybe we'll see you later on in the day. But as far as the Star Trek stuff is concerned, all of this stuff, it's people like this, the laughy, I hate everything. But like they think they're good people and they're not. It's just a veneer. It's just an excuse to be a bad person, is by pretending to be a good one. You just it's just like, you just hate everything that's good, you hate everything that is, you hate the family, you hate everything. Just ask a black conservative what the left thinks of him. Ask a female pro-life woman what the left thinks of her. Ask me, I'm gay. Ask what the left thinks of me. They think I'm scum. They don't care. It's an ideology. Now they don't know it. They're too dumb to really. Most of these people don't understand that they're actually rooting for communism. They just haven't bothered. They haven't bothered to look into it. They just don't understand. They just think that they're being stunning and brave. All these two quote unquote white men. I don't know what's going on with the director kid. But yeah, we've given them so much money, and there's so much money and just a free reign to say and do whatever they want, and then you wonder why the kids coming up are saying stupid shit because you filled their brains with stupid propaganda from these stupid people. It's just this endless cycle, and it's time to fucking break it. Call it out. Stop the insanity. Turn it off. Call it out. Anyway. And yeah, I do think that this is why Star Trek, it sucks now. Is because they've gone full tilt. Actually, Blumhouse has a side company called BH Tilt. Blumhouse Tilt. I don't know what it really means. I think it's the extreme horror end, but I don't know. I don't care. I don't know nor care. Blumhouse, Jason Blum, Jewish executive. I would take Donald Trump out. I would take the current administration out if I could get away with it. Smug look. I would eat potato chips. Because, if I eat potato chips in real life, my butt will get big. And then the boys won't want to plug it with their pee-pees. Okay. Anyway. So, yeah. I'm going to say goodbye. And thanks for joining me, and we will talk to you later. Bye now.